What's going on, good people? It's your boy Gaming Dad, and happy Monday to all my people out there. Whew, man, I was gonna try to start at 7:30, but I had to work a case, and I just made it back in time. Gave me something to eat. Came down here, and we rocking it live for all my good people. Got my Metroid shirt on, but man, that Pokemon Direct was quite terrible. It was terrible. I was like, man, I just wasted my time, man. Listen, I went Pokemon sleep. I went to sleep right there on the stream. Hey, candy, just like candy. But yeah, that Pokemon Direct was not very good at all. All they talked about, some DLC that's coming and blah 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 blah. But y'all saw the thumbnail today, boy. That I like, you know what? Call something wrong with me. I like talking about the rumors. I liked when it was the rumors about when it was the NX before it was the Switch. Geeky, don't even waste your time. It's not even. I'm so mad. I wish I can get that time back. That's how bad it was. It was not like you ain't missing nothing. Absolutely nothing. Even though I thought Pokemon Sleep is probably it was cute. It's cute for like kids. It was still like overall it was like it was whackety whack. But the guy on Reddit who leaked everything that happened with this direct, they pretty much leaked it. Everything. That same cat is saying, hey, the Nintendo. Hold on, let me see if I can find hold on, before I announce it, I should have had this pulled up. Let me bring my Twitter account up. Cause I posted it on my Twitter. You can follow your boy on Twitter at gaming_dad3, where I reposted this earlier. Let's see. Let me go down here and get on my screen. So, 4chan leak that correctly predicted everything revealed today claims that the new Nintendo Switch models, plural, will release this year along the second part, and the game will have graphical enhancements for it. Okay. So, checked out Switch Force today before I got on also, and Switch Force, I guess at the last line of this particular thread, the guy also said that they are working on a patch, a graphical enhancement patch for the DLC. All right. So if that is true, it could be in theory that, because if you look at if you watched it today, they got 2 DLC packs coming for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. One releases in the fall. The second releases in the winter. So I'm thinking, this is your boy Reed, your boy Gaming Dad talking. I think it's going to be a fall situation. Now I'm gonna jump all over the place, so just bear with me. Keep up with me. Remember, your boy said a long time ago. I said 2 things. I said, one, when they release this new, I said it was a 1-year pro, but in essence, it still could be a pro because of this, enhanced. How it's stated, it says it's going to have graphical enhancements. So if you have graphical enhancement, that still could very well be a pro. Because either way, if they release new hardware, I don't care if it's a pro or Switch 2, either one is going to sell. To be honest, I think it works better if Nintendo was to release a Switch Pro. I believe more people would upgrade, and they would pretty much solidify that 150 whatever mark they're trying to get to beat the PS2. But if this is true, it's quite set up quite perfectly for Nintendo to have this a blanket, nothing going on the rest of this year. You got Pikmin 3 in July, but for the rest of the year, you have nothing. Wouldn't it be crazy dope? Nintendo, not at E3, they don't say nothing. They just kindly drop a 2-minute video about a new hardware that's coming later this year. Just drop it, walk away. They would dominate the market for the rest of the year. Just like when they dropped that Switch video in September, and then they had another like direct presentation in January, announced the release date, which came in March. Now, if Nintendo is smart, that thing comes this year. You get the Christmas holiday. It's not a lot of competition, even if PlayStation releases this PlayStation 5 Slim, they are still, it won't hold a cup this Christmas to everything you got with a new Switch model. A new Switch model, and they bet they got games they've been real cautious on, and they have a nice thorough lineup. Like, just imagine this here. Just imagine. I say they go pro. It could be Switch 2, but I'm saying I I think it's in their best interest to go pro. So I'm taking it from the perspective of pro. If they go pro, they make it backwards compatible, right, geeky? All right, one. And then they make graphical enhancements. They drop the time bomb at E3. You talk about it for the rest of the year. And then they give you another remake of Metroid Prime 2. Right? So this way, listen, if they do a pro, they can in theory get away with a new system dropping in 2025. Remember that story? It was way back. That was the thing. They was going to extend this cycle, and that the plan was to have a new Switch in 2025. And I scarfed at that too. I said, man, they can't wait that late. But if they drop a pro, they could. If they drop a pro, they could. They can in theory, they can get away with a year and a half of just releasing stuff for this pro. Just taking everything that you currently got, making it better. All these games get these graphical patches. They move forward. They jump up on it, and you get that. And so, to me, that is the more calculating move. You would do major damage to an Xbox and a PlayStation. You already got the market share. That would just turn. It would turn the tide right back in their favor. Because right now, their tide is going down. It could thoroughly be in their favor if they go this direction. This is something to think about. Just something to think about. I think, what? This could be super dope if they do it right. Now, another thing I want you to talk about. Now, remember back in the day, your boy said, hey, they're going to release two models. Just like they did the 3DS. When they get the new the new 3DS, they had the big XL and they had that little small one that was real nifty, but they both had the same upgrades. That's why I think this is a pro. Because in this thread, it didn't say new Switch model. It said new Switch models, plural, more than one. I'm telling you, this is legit. So before any further ado, let's get on. I'm going to chime in with my people. Some of y'all came in. What's going on, Geeky in the building? Supersonic NJ, welcome, man, welcome. So I did not watch the Pokemon Direct, but still curious, interesting info on what transpired. Not as much as the fillers. News overall summary is better than watching the news from there. Yeah, it was. I mean, I'm telling you, you didn't miss nothing. Ralph, what's going on? Fred, A5 in the building, baby. CMG in the building said, what's up, guys? KP said hello to everyone. Kiki said, I didn't even watch it. I understand. CMG said, I ain't watch it either. Don't worry, you didn't miss nothing. Nothing at all. Sonic Knuckle Tails. Oh, yes, I got to get you on the board, Sonic Knuckle Tails. He says, good to know. Figured not something worth my interest. It wasn't. I was definitely disappointed. Steve M in the building going on said the only thing good from Pokemon Direct was Leaker, who predicted it right, is now saying a new model Switch come along with the Pokemon DLC Wave 2. Is he saying Wave? Yeah, Wave 2 is the fall one, right? I think 2 was the fall, and Wave 3 Oh, is that wave 1 and wave 2? I gotta look that up. Which means a new switch next year before March. Okay, he said wave 2, did he? I need to find that out. Said I'm a programmer at the Pokemon outsourcing company. My English is very poor, so I use machine translation to complete the post. The theme of the DLC is him, blah 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 blah. Also, we are working on graphical enhancement patches for the new Nintendo Switch models that will be releasing along DLC 2. All right. So DLC 1 is the fall. So DLC 2, because it says winter. So that means winter time means it can be any time between December 21st all the way into next year. So yeah, that would put it if it goes that direction. It's not necessarily um it's not necessarily happening this year. That's kind of disappointing. Let's go to Nintendo. I know we didn't talk about this yet, but hey, Super Mario Brothers, this real quick. I forgot about this story here. Is Nintendo has a direct for the movie that shows the final trailer. That's on March 9th at 2 p.m. Pacific time, so that's 5 p.m. Eastern time. You definitely want to put this one on your calendar. Um, Super Mario Brothers movie trailer. I'm already hyped for the movie. Definitely going to see it day one. Um, but put that on your calendar. I think that direct might be special. All right. I'm trying to see if they got the DLC. I want to see the DLC. They gotta have a. They have to have one for the DLC. Mm, all right. Let's see. Hold on. This is. But it don't say. It says. Okay. Okay. Part one till. Yes. Okay. So part two is in the winter 2023. If you look at this tweet right here, um, it says part one, the teal mass releases in fall 2023. Part two, the indigo disc should be distributed in winter 2023. So very, very interesting stuff. But you know what? Listen, let me get off of this for a hot sec. We'll come right back. I just got to get my introductions in. I got people that I'm missing. I know Steve M was on the board. See, Steve M in the building. I know SOC dropped in. What's going on, SOC? My guy. Um, Sonic Knuckle Tales. All right. If I haven't got to you, let me know. Did I get candy on there? Candy on there. All right. Good. All right. Let's see. Says Geek said I watched Switch Force video 2 on it. Yeah, I had to check him out real quick. It's a but you know what? Listen, speaking of I'm going to Geeky's comment. Speaking of Switch Force, you know what? Now when Nintendo announced that they wasn't doing nothing, he had this big old rant video that was like, why? But now he's all happy again, so good for him. Pro and backwards compatible with new Switch system is an absolute must. Um, Dang, so you know what? If it comes out next year, then it's a pro. If it's next year, it's a pro. It's me. If it's next year, it is Switch 2. If it's this year, it's a pro. If it comes out in 2023, it is a pro. And he has the assumption, like even Switch 4 has the assumption that it's this year. But according to that, He said that sounds like next year to me. SOC says, "What's up?" Okay. Kiki says, also gotta tease new Animal Crossing cause that game sells systems. Yeah, listen, they'll be a fool not to eventually either update or have a new game coming. I don't think it's gonna be as whatever game they got coming. It's not gonna be as big as that first Animal Crossing on the Switch because there's no COVID to kind of support that. So yeah, it'll sell. It's gonna sell really well, but it's not gonna sell. I don't think it's not gonna do 40 million. GT in the building. What's going on? Let me get you on the board. Guerrilla Tactics. All right. Guerrilla Tactics says, releasing next to nothing till the fall/winter. Then dropping a pro is not a good look. Come on, I disagree with you on that. I disagree, totally disagree with you on that. Just because it's not just because the releases are not consistent, it's not. That means it's not a good look for PS5 either. They don't, only what else they got? PS5 just has the virtual console, not virtual console. I said VR, but the games they got coming out ain't nothing to write home about. And for the PS5, they don't got nothing. They don't got nothing to Spider Man. So I don't think you can put that kind of judgment. So that's not a good look. I disagree with you on that one. Let's see. It says, why would the masses run out and buy a pro after a 5-month drought of games? Yeah, because if you drop a pro and you build any form of hype, best believe games that were supposed to come out have been pushed back. Right, and so now you have games to go along with the system. You drop them at the same time. People going around and buy it. People going around and upgrade. It'll be the hottest thing this summer. The only thing they will have competition with is a PS5 with a PS Slim and Spider Man. Meanwhile, Sony will be dropping a PS6 Slim. No, excuse me, it's PS5 Slim shortly after games like Spider Man 2 likely discounted a bunch of older PS5 games. A Slim would look like a better deal for the future. Um, yeah, maybe. But just like you just said in the comment before that, you gotta have games. That's the little PlayStation. You got Spider Man, but what else do you have besides what? Of course, the regular Call of Duties. The regular Maddens. You got games that's annual, but you have no new IP. Like the thing about the Switch has been doing this without a Call of Duty, without a Manhattan, without all these big names. They've been doing that. I disagree with your whole argument. This argument is flawed. It's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. And just what the key is like what do I don't I think it's in Nintendo's best interest to lose this year. To echo my fact to add some validity to Gorilla Tactics' point. I think waiting until the beginning of next year is a bad move. I think this year, what you have a Christmas holiday to support and back whatever game you decide to drop with that system. And if it's a pro, if it's the two, no matter which one it is, I'm telling you, the pro is give them more time to let that two cook and get it right. So when you drop that bad boy, it has the support in the games to make it happen. Yeah, so listen, I'm telling you, listen, I don't think they're gonna end. There's no way possible Nintendo gonna end the year with no games. If the story was to be believed that hey, this system is coming before March of next year, and there are going to be other games that's going to be announced or launched by this year that's going to support that system. Now, will they be big games? I don't know. Steve M says, I agree, Guerrilla Tactics. People would rather get a PS5 for Christmas to play the new Spider-Man game. Nintendo has to have to great. has to has to have great games to come along with new hardware, or it will be another Wii U. I don't think so, Steve. I don't think you can even. The Wii U has so many issues with its marketing and its name convention. Um, that's what. Listen, the current Switch itself, we all can agree, it's still selling. Is it selling gangbusters? No. Is it beating the PS5 right now? No. But you let a new system drop. Everybody's complaining about the Switch is to have a new system with more graphical fidelity and to be able to play the games, at a higher frame rate. So if Nintendo with its marketing team, which executed a flawless console generation with the Switch, would also put themselves in position to do it again. You just need games. At the end of the day, as long as you got games, your system's gonna sell. Spider-Man 2, don't I'm not dissing Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is gonna be phenomenal. Absolutely. The first one was phenomenal. And Spider-Man as an IP is a darn good IP. But Wolverine is not coming. Listen, after Spider-Man, what do you have? You know what? Listen, that's what they're not gonna be at E3, so what are they gonna announce? So it looks like, what, Nintendo might not be the only team in town that don't have nothing besides Spider-Man, besides one title until the end of the year. The rest of this year is gonna be really good and interesting. Steve M says, Gaming Dad, did you see Play Asia cancel everyone's PS4 version of Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster? Oh, I did not know that. Apparently, they will only have the Switch version physical in Asia and with English text. Ooh wee. Listen, that to me, I would be pissed if I was a PS4 owner. Thank God I'm not. I can't win this week, but cannot let but cannot me win. What? But cannot me win? Okay. I mean, it's not me. It's right in the name. That's too funny. I'm gonna be so glad when this cold I got go away, because I'm cool. Like throughout the day, I'm good, but the minute I laugh, boy, I'm coughing like I got asthma all over again. Oh, what's up, Dave? Let me get you on the board. Dave Williams. Dave said, "Hello. I'm watching a TV show with my brother, so I'm a little late. That's all right, man. Spend time with your brother, man. Family's always first." FS Alpha in the building. What's going on, my guy, man? Tell your mama I said hello. Z5 in the house. FS Alpha, man. It's been a grip, man. Listen, my friend, I can say this to you, man. Happy New Year, my brother. Happy New Year. CMG says, I hope it's a good bit more powerful than the current Switch. You know what? It just need to run the games better. I think in a dream world, I would love a SSD to flop in that bad boy. But that's a dream. You know what? How much would this bad boy cost? I don't even want to dig into that. CMG says, I see what you is saying there, Steve M, but I just don't see Nintendo making the same mistake again. I don't see it. I don't see it either. I do not see it either. The concept of a hybrid console is a hot commodity, just like when the Wii came out and that Wii motion, the Wii sticks was like a hot commodity that everybody emulated and copied. You don't see too many people, but I don't see an Xbox handheld coming. I don't see a PlayStation handheld coming. Even the Steam is doing this thing. You know what? I am on Team Steam. Don't get me wrong. I am on this Team Steam, but it's once again still a unique niche. And until they can somehow mainstream that process of being able to get into Steam and getting their games to run flawlessly without having to divvy into settings, when you have to do that to kind of get games running, you're gonna segregate a lot of people, and everybody's not tech savvy. So It's gonna be that's I mean, but that's what I'm telling you, Nintendo is on their own. They on their own plane, and all they need to do is drop the right game with the system, and it's gonna take off. The Wii U didn't have that killer game at launch. They didn't, and to me that hurt the Wii U. FSO said, "I got my stocks made. The JV team is still grinding. All right now. I'm man. Listen, first of all, I'm glad you came through and updated my brother, man. It's good to hear from you." GT said that is my exact point. Nintendo is coming off a drought, expecting you to buy their new system. Nintendo needs to support the current Switch before expecting you to buy the new one. But you're saying that's okay. That's like saying that like Metroid Prime didn't just drop. Metroid Prime remake didn't just drop. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, the sequel to probably the sequel to the best Zelda ever, is getting ready to drop. They're still supporting this system. And think about it. Even if they didn't drop anything, it's a 6-month drought. You know how many games the Switch has? How many classics? How many games that sold over 20 million that's in their library? You know what? A lot from their own studio. I don't. You know what? Still got. I ain't say Pigment Force a seller, but they still get games coming. And I don't believe they're gonna go off this year without having games still drop for the Switch. However, to for me, to me, to be honest, I would prefer that they came out with a Pro and just run these games that we got currently better and give them a little time. You know, I'm gonna take either one. That's why I'm gonna be happy either way. I'm upgrading. It's a no. It's an absolute no brainer for me. So you expect people to buy a Switch Pro while Nintendo spends the majority of the year treating the Switch like the 3DS right now. Hmm. I don't. You might have to explain to me how it's being treated like the 3DS. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to understand the parity between the two. Suicide and Mocking J. Okay, okay. You still lurking over there? I think I got you on the board. Yes, Super MJ, you on the board? FS Alpha on the board. All right, good people. Listen, but I still believe if they handle this properly, if if they wait until if this system becomes a 2024 system, then you're gonna hear things this year. I think if that happens, the Switch will get a price drop. I think whenever if they skip E3 if its entirety and they have some form of direct in September, like they typically do, I believe that this current Switch gets a price drop that just to get more of those systems out of the door for the Christmas holiday. Next year they start the year off with a Switch, whatever the Switch 2 is. Even though the better move is to have it this year and you eat up Christmas. You have it this year during the typical November month, and you back on schedule, and it sells like hotcakes. Gigi said the Switch is so old and outdated. I feel like they have supported it enough. You know what? I agree. I believe that hey, it's time for a new system. But could they get away with releasing a Pro? Absolutely. They can get away with it. As long as you have software to support, they'll get away with it. If they go with a Switch 2, as long as it's backwards compatible, you can get away with it. Then you get the price cuts. Then you get some of these legacy titles and you mark them down and put them under your Nintendo Legacy program where they are, instead of being full price, they are $30 or $25. I know one thing, man. I gotta. These cores from Amazon are terrible. Even though they've lasted me quite a little bit of time, but every time they go out right here. It's just a little whatever this little switch is here. It goes out right at the base. I know you don't want to hear that. Steven says, speaking of 3DS, now's the last chance to get stuff off the eShop before it's gone, or you can just mod your system. Okay, I'm not gonna announce that. Cause you know what, believe it or not, I think it's probably gonna be best. The 3DS will be a system that I probably would mod. I probably would mod that system so I can um continue to use that system as a way of downloading and playing games. Greta Tactic says that the only new games known is a 3-year-old hyped up. Oh, come on now, Zelda and Metroid JPEG. What? Come on, listen, you on that BS? Yeah, Pikmin might not be the best. And I'm not a Pikmin fan, but Metroid Prime is gorgeous. It's a great game. Zelda is going to be a great game. Then the question is, Greta Tactic, did you beat the first Zelda? Did you beat Tears? Did you beat Breath of the Wild? So Nintendo is really not supporting the Switch right now, just like they ain't supporting the 3DS. Yeah, you listen. Tell me what system supported it all the way through the end. They supported it just as much as PlayStation supported the PS4. Now this is the PS4 got more love because they had to give it more love because they couldn't make enough PS5s. And just like they supported, like PlayStation supported the PS3. Matter of fact, the PS3 was worse. Hold on. I did finally beat it this year, punk. Yes, I beat it. Did you? I get to see you saying it on a smug look on your face too. Don't worry, Krilla Tati. You can go outside, man, and you're gonna trip and fall. And then when you do that there, because I know it's cold, and you probably got some ice up there in Canada. Think about your boy Gaming Dad. PS4 is still being supported by PlayStation because they had to. Because they absolutely had to. It wasn't like, oh, that was their choice. If the COVID didn't happen, it would been it. You wouldn't have heard nothing about a PS4. None, God of War would not have made it on the second edition would not have been on the PS4. The PS4 would not have been supported as long as it have. They had to. They had no choice because they wasn't gonna make the sales. What's going on, Neo Prime in the building, ladies and gentlemen? Let me get you on the board, my brother. All right. So Neo Prime, this is the discussion. We are currently talking about the possibility of this Switch Pro happening, or Switch Pro or Switch 2. Now, according to the leak, of course, they're saying that it's going to come out around the time of the DLC pack for Pokemon, the second pack, not the first one, but the second one that comes out in the winter. So my stance is if Nintendo makes around and it comes out this year, I believe it's still a Pro. But if it moves to the spring, or let's say winter of next year, then that bad boy is a Switch 2 and they're off and running. And everything is kind of set up that way. So kind of going back and forth with Guerrilla Tactics about the possibility that Nintendo should support their system all the way through to a new system, because right now they're giving it. His stance is that they're treating the current Switch like they've treated the 3DS, as the 3DS was in their cycle. But you know what? Of course, what made the Switch so successful? It was the launch and the amount of top quality games they had ready to go at launch. That is what made the Switch so successful. They hit the ground running. They had great games, great software, and the floodgates was open. That first year was magical. So Nintendo, of course, is going to prepare this next system, no matter if it's at Christmas time or next year, with great software ready to go at launch to redo and remarket the same thing they did with the original first Switch. So yes, of course, there's going to be some form of shortcomings. As long as they make it backwards compatible, you know what? It's going to be okay. Gaming Dad is basically saying Nintendo doesn't need to support the Switch until the Switch Pro, and then people are just supposed to buy a Switch Pro after 5 month drop. People are going to buy Switch Pro. Okay, look at it like this here. The PlayStation 2 sold well because not because it was like a super dope system. The PlayStation 2 sold as well as it did because it was a DVD player. That's the reason why it sold so many. All right. So you think about that. Now you have the Switch who does not have, still don't have Netflix on it, but is in a position to sell 130, 140 million based on the software and what the system presents alone. You got people out there that are going to want to upgrade. If it's a brand new Switch 2, you know what they're gonna do? They're still gonna support the Switch. Them games are gonna work on both systems until eventually they get a game that's too big. So yeah, they're gonna support it, but they don't need to support it with heavy hitting titles before they drop this next system, because you want to drop the next system with heavy hitter title. That's the formula, that the reason why the Switch is so successful to this point. It built the momentum. So yeah, Nintendo they strategizing to build that momentum. So this way they get things lined up and stacked up for them first 2 years in the system. They're gonna be ready to go. So if I think if they mess around and don't, people are not gonna be like, oh my goodness, Nintendo, this is because Nintendo this all of a sudden this didn't have any games. I'm not gonna support them anymore. No, they're gonna say, all right, people gonna moan because they don't have games, and then once Nintendo dropped them games, they're gonna be back on it. What happened to Switch Force? Switch Force last week, he had a whole rant. Oh, how does Nintendo do that? They just skipped out on E3, right? And then all of a sudden today, look what happened. You know, if Nintendo does this, it will change their whole future. That's how people are, man. They fickle. They're not gonna just stay focused on this one thing because, oh my god, I'm just gonna stick it to the man. No, people gonna go where the games are. If they come out and they got a system and they got a dope lineup, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna support that system and say, oh man, I can play this, I can play this, play that. Oh, that the original Switch video, everybody was hyped and everybody was talking about all the games that were particularly coming to that Switch. They was ready. If it's a brand new console, cool. However, if you're dragging out the Switch lifespan coming off a long drought, that's crazy. I'm not saying what you're saying right now is wrong. I'm not saying that morally your comment is correct. But in this market and the people that they're currently dealing with this right now, people are still gonna buy that system. It's just remember now we're in the era of those who repeat and buy the iPhone every year, and there's no difference right now. I'm telling you, you can go get the iPhone 11, and it's, to me, just as good as this iPhone 14. And I've had every model. People are like that. People are like, you know, I'm an upgrader. I'm an upgrader because I'm a power user. I use things. I use my phone for so many things, and across so many of my other jobs. But could I've got away with the iPhone 11? I could have. I probably still could. I still can get away with the iPhone 11. Let's see. It says PS. Greta Tactic says PS2 to non-gamers as the PS2 was cheaper than a DVD player back in the day, causing can get movies on their phone, smart TVs, PS5, Xbox. It's not system sellers. But yeah, correct. They're not system sellers. But for the PS2 to sell as many it was a system seller. Having a device, people weren't buying that PS2 because their games were great. They was like, oh man, I can play games and I got a DVD player. And you know what? If you look at half of those people that bought that PS2, they probably bought it because it was a DVD player. That was cheaper than everybody else's DVD player. And you are, yeah, of course. You know, smart TV, PS5, you know, yes. I'm not saying they are system sellers. We proved that with the Switch because people weren't buying the Switch to watch Hulu and YouTube. Those are just nice add-ons. But people was buying the PS2 because the ability to play DVDs. Because back then we didn't have Netflix or any of these other streaming services. Neo Prime says the Switch 2 will be another level for Nintendo. Different price points. Switch Lite 175, Switch 250, Switch OLED 300, Switch 2/Pro 350, or something like that. There's always overlap. Yeah, I believe that whenever they announce this here, that all the Switch models get a price drop. They all should get a price drop. Like they should go in that same tier. I believe the OLED should even go lower. I think the regular Switch should be like, you know what, 225, 200. You know what? You get an OLED, make the OLED 275, 250. You know what? And then this Switch Pro, you put into that higher tier that says, hey, you know what? They can make that Switch Pro $400. Do I think they do it? I don't think they do it, but they could. They could get away with it as long as they have models that still supports a lower tier. Steve M says, I hope the new Switch comes with higher resolution screen and supports for VR games. I wonder how they make that happen. I think they could, though, especially with the VR games. But you got to have VR games that's ready to go on the system. Yeah, so, Geeky said, I'm hoping for a more powerful Switch Lite. That's why I believe when it says two models, that's why I believe if this says two models, then we are in a position that we should get a updated Switch Lite, and you get an updated Switch model. So like whatever that second, if it's say Switch 2, if then you have a Switch 2 Lite and Switch 2 Pro. I mean, they'll both sell like gangbusters out of the gate. Out of the gate, you get two different models. That's why to me it's like, you know what, if Nintendo they should capitalize and get that Christmas money. Get that Christmas money, drop those prices, have your tier, have your games, advertise Blitz. You would have people buying multiple systems on day one. I can very well see it where people are not only buying a Switch Lite, they're buying a Switch 2 regular model, and it's going to be like that in droves because I know a lot of people. I look at my own family and how myself and my kids have multiple Switches. They have a Switch Lite and have a regular Switch. I can foresee that happening for a lot of families besides myself that's going to have multiple models. Like I like the Switch Lite because it was quick and portable. If you know what, I'm going to want that same experience. Absolutely going to want that same experience. I'm telling you, listen, this could be a dope year for Nintendo, or it could be, you know, I don't know. Grit Attack says, hey guys, we ain't supported the Switch with first party games for 5 months. Third party games are not supported us either. But buy the Switch Pro and we'll try to get games for it. Man, I can't. I'll always respond to that. That's you know what you listen. To be honest, you can't. It's hard for you to make that statement because you haven't supported Nintendo either. You've been you've been mass marketing it on the sidelines. Nintendo Brian says third party companies complain Nintendo wasn't making room for them, so Nintendo is backing off and letting third parties shine. Mmm. Greta Tactic says I see a lot of Nintendo execs bowing and saying, please understand if the Switch Pro release in the middle of the gaming drought for Nintendo. It's not a gaming drought, man. I think, listen, it's not a gaming drought. Think about it. They had Metro Prime done. You know, rumor had it was been done for a long time. They get a lot of games in the shaft that's done. They just, you know what, they strategize. I ain't mad at one bit. Throughout that time, they were still selling units. Steve M says, no way it's the OLED selling below $300. Nintendo barely makes a profit on it at 350. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Steve M acting like you can't turn any current Switch game to VR with cardboard. Oh man, see, that's funny. Steven says Switch Lite 2 with OLED will be dope. I'll pay 250 for that. Yeah, I will pay 250. I will pay 300 for that. Gigi said, me too, Steve. Steve M says, I could see a new light doing really well because a lot of parents don't want to buy their younger kids that full Switch and usually opt for the light. That is very true. When I worked at GameStop, that was one of the parents' main complaints. Like, I don't know. They would come to I don't know if my son can really handle this. And then I pushed a lot of parents to the light because I was like, he wants to switch, but I don't know. I said, well, the caveat is, I'm breaking it down to him. And then eventually what they do, they go ahead with the light. So yeah, you're absolutely right. It would sell really, really well. Steven says, my nephew got a regular Switch for Christmas and he already dropped it and not taking care of it. Right. Listen, right, man. My son does this. I'm not going to speak on my son. I said, I've been praying to God. I said, I'm going to get off of him. But don't worry, though. He about to send his Steam Deck off so he can pay. He can get that screen fixed. Grittatech says, a GameCube game, that's your hero, Chief. It's not a hero, but it's a good game. You can't deny it. Nobody has a GameCube game. We've been playing Wii U games for the longest on the Switch, and they're still good games. I was like, you know what? Um, I see that there's a strong sustain for Nintendo here. What's going on? Good attacks. I mean, okay. So if the criticism for Nintendo is this way, then what do you support? What is it? What other system that you feel like is doing better than Nintendo? I gotta hear that. And it can't be you can't put Steam in there because Steam is a whole different beast, a whole different entity. I can't even Steam in the console war. You can't say that PlayStation is just, oh my goodness, is doing gangbusters or putting out product on top of product. You can't say Xbox because Xbox haven't put out nothing. But you know what? I don't know. Like, remember now, I'm assuming Greta Tactic, you probably somewhat around my age. You know what? We've been through these markets before when it was like crazy draws. You know what? The Wii U was correct. That was a crazy gaming time. If you was a Wii U soloist. But I mean, I think we've all got accustomed to Nintendo putting out bangers on top of bangers on top of bangers on a consistent clip for the last 4 or 5 years, and now as that clip is slowed down, we're like saying, you know what, man, they don't, I don't know. This is stop finishing your game so quickly, Grilla. He said, I'm still playing. uh, he said, oh, wait, Fire Emblem is the last game I bought for the Switch. Completely forgot I owned that game. Persona 3 Portable and hardware took over my life at um, that time. I should open Fire Emblem. Yeah. Yeah, open fire. You know what? But has anybody? Listen, this is a good question. Has anybody seen any reports on what hardware looks like on the Switch? I think I heard it was decent, but I think Player Essence did a video. I need to go check that out. GT says there's no disdain. You knock Sony for their current drought of games while bragging Nintendo is going to take over 2023 to release another Switch in the middle of a game drought. Is it a game? Is it a game drought? I don't think it's. I don't think it's a game drought. I mean, somebody got to ask, like, is it really a game drought? It might not be like this. We might not be getting the top tier games, but I swear Zelda comes out in a couple months. I swear a game. Listen, I swear Metroid Prime is. It should be nominated for Game of the Year, but you know what? It's a remake, so it can't. I'm just. I mean, I don't think it. I don't think it's a gaming drought. I think you know what. I don't know. I don't see this gaming drought. If it is, let me know. Quay, what's going on, my guy? He said, I'm saying with Sony, the games are going to come with Nintendo is unsure. But like I don't know what you mean by unsure. How are we unsure the games are gonna come? We just it's been unsure of late. And you know what? I think because you have a very popular system that's still selling, and they have titles that can really, really make this happen. I don't think it's a game job. We've gotten some great games, man. Think about it. Listen, you even look at like stuff that came out on every system, like Elden Ring. We got it's not a game job. It's too many games coming out. It's too many games that a lot of us still we still like I don't know my job. Yeah, I might get more free time than I do, but it's games that I'm still working on. We've gotten great games, man. Quake said I'm late. How did the surgery go? Yeah, Gorilla Tactic. How did the surgery go? Quake, you my man. I forgot about that. Right, he didn't give us no update. He just came out here with his guns blazing. That's right. We're not answering another question, another statement from Gorilla Tactics until we figure out how did the surgery go. I'm trying to. Neo Prime says no game drought. I don't think it's a game drought. So I'm not answering. Listen, I'm there. Listen, I'm not. We're not responding to any more of your comments until you tell us how the surgery went. Gorilla Tactics. Neil Prime with Nintendo. I know what I'm going to get every 6 months. Once the summer hits, I know what's coming in the second half. Always the case. Right. You. It's like it's not like it's bangers on top of bangers all the time. Tell me, we just got conditioned to getting so many good games, and yet, true enough, we might not be getting a lot of the third party games, and it's because of hardware limitations. You know what? Like we talked about this earlier. When once I got the Steam Deck, it's like certain games I knew came out. It was like for instance, like Tunic. I was like, man, I'm not buying Tunic on the Switch because it's gonna run so much better on my Steam Deck. I would prefer to play it on my Steam Deck. You know what? It's he said the surgeon didn't go. It got delayed to March 6th. Punk doctor. Oh man, listen. Okay, we got a new date to pray for. New day, March 6th, ladies and gentlemen. Put that on your calendar, man. Get up in the morning, man. Say a good prayer for our boy GT. Get them eyeballs fixed. Need him looking right. All right, we go back to your comments, GT. He says, as for my favorite console, I don't have any to put. To be fair, I'm a PC gamer who plays first party games on the side. Guys, listen. Oh, all right. So you do it. Listen. Okay, I salute you for that. All right. Steve says, Advance Wars about to come out soon. I'm not looking forward to Advance Wars. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm like, one of them games is like it's another strategy game. I just don't have time for it. Should I get Kirby game that just came out? That's a good question. I had pre-ordered it, but I think I'm gonna cancel my pre-order. You know what? Neo says, try the Prime, Geeky. All right, try the demo. I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna have to check that demo out. Did not know there was a demo for that game. They got quite a few demos out right now that you get the opportunity to play, man. Yep. So I think the conversation. First of all, give it a tactic. You're my boy for life. And whenever we meet, we gonna hang out. But great conversations, man. I love the back and forth. At the end of the day, I like the fact that we can agree to disagree, and that makes us all better humans, better conversationalists. So, I think you know what if Nintendo plays its cards right, I would like for them to drop this in 2023. But you know what, if we get in 2024 now, it's not a guarantee that we're gonna get that system before March 21st because the DLC said fall and winter ends March 21st. So, but if it happens, I'm all for it. I'm all there for it day one. Do I think Nintendo needs some games to come out this year? I think they need a few more. They don't need to be heavy hitters, but they need something to kind of balance out this year. No Pokemon this year. I don't know how that factors in and how that makes Nintendo look. That's that to me. Those are, to me, was the questions this year. I don't think Nintendo can get away with just having some Pokemon DLC and still have a base fired up. I think this is probably what Gorilla Tactic is saying, is not having the base fired up to come buy a system. That's why I think, you know what, if you're gonna make this move, you make this move this year for Christmas and let it be the hottest thing going for the next, the next year. Had that bad boy, it's gonna sell out. If they drop the new system this year, I don't think it's no one in here to say, oh, it's not gonna sell out. That bad boy is gonna sell out. It's gonna sell out very, very quickly. It's gonna get scalped to the moons come home. It's gonna be so many people trying to get that system. It's gonna be the talk of the town. That's why, to me, you don't do nothing for E3. You just kind of just shadow drop a commercial that says this was coming. Look forward to it. Let everybody know this was going on, and leave it a mystery. And let that baby ride to about September. And then you have another one. You announce the system. You announce the launch games, and you say coming out November 29th. And then you come out, you had that bad boy wrap up, and you sell like hotcakes for a whole month. And then you know what? The next year you line it up next year with like 4 or 5 bangers, and that bad boy that momentum is going to continue the wave right on to the end of 2024 to 2025. To me, that's how you do it. I don't know how I skipped all the way up here. Steven says new Curry game is good. I like it more than Star Allies. Okay. Oh, so Steve, you picked it up. All right. I'm glad somebody did. Because I was like, I thought about it, but I was like, I moonwalked off of it. So going to download the demo tonight. Yep, me too, Gicky. Tim is one handsome man. He is powered by Manscaped. But yes, they are sponsored by Manscaped. You know what, Tim? Y'all the reason why my wife bought Manscaped. She bought me some Manscaped. She was like, listen, we got to mow that down. There's too much weeds going on down there. That's just crazy. He said he is powered by Manscaped. That's too funny, man. Yes, there is Pokemon. Yeah, you know what though? But it's this DLC. It's not a brand new game. And to me, that's concerning. It's like, we know we're going to get one DLC in the fall. So I could be, of course, I can be, it could be in November. But there's nothing else. Like they get that to me. I think they need something else. Matter of fact, let me ask y'all a question. What is one game that you hope Nintendo should release or do? And I believe, man, this environment right now is prime for ARMS 2. It is. I thought about this earlier today. It is really prime for ARMS 2. I think ARMS 2 is it'll be in a great slot because there's no Smash Brothers. And we don't know what that next Smash Brothers is going to look like, what it entail, we don't know none of that. You know what? Either you do that, you do a new ARMS, or if Nintendo really wanted to, you know what I'm saying, get your dollars, you release either one of these two. You say, hey, since we did Metroid Prime, let me give you a remastered or a remastered Smash Brothers Melee. That would sell like hotcakes right there, buddy. A remastered Melee would sell like hot cakes. ARMS, I said ARMS 2 would be we're so primed for it. That's a pun, right? But we are. I mean, that would be like the right decision. You'll have a fighting game that's new, that's kind of fresh. You know what? Like, because ARMS 1 was really, really good. I wish the community was like was big on ARMS 2. I haven't been on ARMS in so long. I couldn't tell you if it's still people still playing that game. But I would love for that to happen. Steve M says, but I'm still waiting for that long rumored Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD. So I know rumors are just that. And even when credible plans do change. You know what? That's could I don't think we get Wind Waker this year. I think that's what they had so many GameCube games that they can pick from, they can remaster it. I just don't think we get that this year. Oh man, Astral Chains 2 will be dope too. That to me that would sell too. And you know what? Astral Chains 2 is one of them games, man, that I wished more people played. You know what? Listen, I almost beat it. I came close, but you know what? I watched my son beat it, and I was like, man, this game, it was so good. Because after once you get kind of close, and then you end up watching your son finish the rest of it, you like, the enthusiasm to go back and finish it yourself, it don't be that high. That's what happens when you have kids. Gorilla Detective says Mario Kart 9 will be a great game for their new console. I think that should be the plan. Matter of fact, I think that is the plan, because the first Switch had, it wasn't very long when Mario Kart came out. I think with the Switch launched in March. I think Mario Kart came out in May. Yeah, I remember I was driving. Matter of fact, I was driving to Detroit when Mario Kart came out, and I picked it up. And think about it. They had Mario Kart in May. They had Splatoon in July. They had bangers, man. They had a steady flow of bangers, and so to get to that particular level, you gotta refill the barn. The barn got to get loaded back up so you can go back out there and take care of business. So I see why Nintendo is not in a position, but man, a prime ARMS 2 would sell it. It would sell this Christmas. It would absolutely sell. I would all be all about that. Arms 2 was a great game. I wish it was sold more. I wonder how much did it sell? I know it sold over 2 million units. But then Smash Brothers came out and that was all she wrote. GT says, I know they're doing the maps and such, but a new Mario Kart and an upgraded online system with their new system would sell. Absolutely. You know what? Let's talk about what are some of the Switch shortcomings. You know, of course, we know the graphics is outdated. That chip is old, real old, almost 10 years old. Think about it. That chip came out, I think, in 14. They created that chip in 14. It's either 14 or 15, but still, it's 8 or 9 years old. So you know what? We noticed that's the shortcoming. But what else are the shortcomings? They kind of fixed the battery life. You know what? I mean, I think with the OLED model and that version 2 model, they kind of, they gave us enough battery life to enjoy the system. I think the Joy Cons is a shortcoming, even though they are efficient. I think they're just too small, and I think they need to do something to make it a little beefier, a little more comfortable. Um, because I was looking, you tend to other things make the Switch more enjoyable, like that Dolby controller where the Switch kind of fits in. You have that made the Switch that much better. I just love playing with that thing. But once again, it became bulky and heavier. Um, the Switch Lite is great, especially if you get that bad boy with the satisfied grip. It's A1. So, but what else are some Switch limitations? I think the D-pad. I think not having an ample D-pad on that system was a limitation, a shortcoming. That was to me a design flaw. Nintendogs, man, that used to be Nintendogs and Nintendo Cast was okay. I didn't play it for a hot second though, and I got tired of it real quick. GT says load times, lack of party chat, internal storage space. The internal storage space one is it didn't hamper me too much, but I've always wanted to me they need to have a fast SSD. After playing a Steam Deck, it's like you see where it could go and where it needs to go. Is that I just don't know how you get one in a system that small. I don't think a lot of kids wouldn't play a Steam Deck because it's too big. But yeah, absolutely, they need some faster. They need a way to make their load times faster, and an SSD in that bad boy would definitely be more than welcome. Nintendo Online structure as it makes having multiple consoles a pain. Yeah, that whole system is jacked, isn't it? You know what? It to me it should be as seamless as smooth. Like it gets really that particular flaw gets highlighted every time you play the Steam Deck. It gets highlighted because you know what? You can play the Steam Deck, and if you play a Steam on a computer or somewhere else, it's instantaneous. My only issue with the Steam Deck is that if you have it powered all the way down, and then when you power it all the way up, it's a long process. It's like, golly, man, you gotta make it faster than that. But once you into it, it's good. It's solid, man. So definitely, man. I agree with every one of those issues with the Switch, and if they can solve, you know, 80% of those, it would be a major improvement. Steve M says, the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga is $18. Hey, listen, a pickup. That's a pickup. $18, man. Listen, you getting a ton of game for $18, especially if you like Star Wars. GT says, you shouldn't fill up your internal storage with with two AAA games and DLC and patches. It's almost as though it's required that you're going to spend $50 extra for an adequate storage. Shoot, $50, man. I forgot how much I spent for a terabyte card, and it was absolutely worth it. It was a must to have a terabyte to get in that system, so I can at least have all my games with me. Yeah, you know what? Listen, but I think we all got to understand why. If you're gonna have a system that's gonna sell for the original Switch was what? Was it 250 for the original Switch? I think, or 300. But you have a system that played the games and what they played. It was $300 out the gate, and it did the things that they. They had to cut. They had to cut some shortcomings. So I don't foresee them solving that unless they can figure out a way to be able to say, hey, this is how we can solve the load time. They can increase those load times, man. Then I'm all in favor of getting the games real quick, especially that's the advantage and the blessings that comes along with owning a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X, because when you want to play your games, you get in them so quick. So quick. You get an Xbox Series S, it's the same thing. You get into games so quick. And to me, I want something that doesn't waste my time, and that those system does exactly what we asked for. All right, good people, listen, man. Great conversation. Hold on, let me get off of this screen here. Hold on one second. Come on now. All right, come on. You should see me. See me. All right. Well, wait, it don't matter. All right. Hey, real quick, man, check the board just to make sure you guys are on there. We got 14 people. You know what? Your boy Gaming Dad is on the board. So that's 15 people. Anybody? Neil Prime is on the board. All right. Let's get off of here real quick. And let's go ahead and transfer our way to. No, I don't want to share stories. I want. GT says, I'd rather they just sell a full feature console at a higher price than a bare bones console that they have to spend another 100 or more on to make it what it's supposed to be. I agree with you on that. So like for instance, like when it came to the Steam Deck, um, the one my wife bought me was the 512, and it will suffice. You know what I'm saying? It did the job, but you know what? When the other Steam Deck came through, I passed it off to my son, and I took the one that I pre-ordered because of the fact that you know what, I wanted full fee. I didn't want to have any limitations. So I wish they would have just done that. You know what? Believe it or not, I believe Nintendo don't think people won't play the money. They should have a tier that says, hey, this it don't have the A, B, and CD, but this one here has the SSD and blah 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 and blah blah blah, and it might be $400 or $500. So you know what? People would pay it. People would buy that higher tier. They should offer it. That's my thing. I don't think they want to confuse people, but people would pay that money for those features. You know what? You can't tell me right now, people that's in here in this chat, if Nintendo dropped a new system that says, you know what, we're gonna give you for $500, you can get a five. In fact, I'm gonna say 512 SSD. You're gonna get a let's see what else they give you. We'll give you extra battery life, so you better play your games for 6 to 7 hours. OLED screen, at fast load times. You would pay for that. People would absolutely pay that money for that. Supersonic MJ says Mario and Rabbids DLC. I didn't buy the game, so you know what? I bought it for my son, but I want to. I gotta ask him has he played it. I bet money he hasn't played it. I bet money. See, GT can't win, but I can, as I'm clearly not him. Don't believe me? Check the name. I agree on that one as well, GT.
Chris, don't waste our time with the elderly. They're dying.
My son decided to connect to my TV, the environment.
Let me just sniff his hat. Let me just
Oh,
sniff his hat. That's all I want.
why is he? Why is this on my TV? My son, boy. Oh, all right. So your boy Spawnway got a new video up. Why is this
Well,
kid?
you sure got a pretty morning for it. Chris, don't waste our time with the elderly. They're
I'm gonna cut the TV off because somehow I think my son is somehow logged in. My kids, boy, you gotta love them. You feel like going out there and drop kicking them beside the head. GG said, "I want a 512 SSD and a case. Damn it, Steam did it. Nintendo should do it too. Yeah, they should. To me, even if they went as low as 128, it had a 128 SSD. Man, I would pay just so I could have games that ran faster. That's to me. That's what I want, stuff to load fast. I want any drawbacks. I want to have a great experience. So. For Nintendo, I know they just want to keep it affordable. For the parents, yeah, I agree. They want to keep it marked. That's why I think they just need to have a tier. I'm okay with still having a system that provides you can play good games, things of that nature. But to me, they need a premium tier for premium gamers. I know you guys heard of a Neo Geek and two. Yeah, I've heard of that. Well, at least he ain't watching. Right. At least he ain't doing something he ain't supposed to be doing. Playing some Family Guy. All right, listen. I'm not gonna dig too deep into. Of course, we know this here. I'm not gonna dig too deep into there. Nintendo confirms it won't be at E3. But once again, you know what? I don't think they're at E3, but I'm still waiting before I write E3 off. I need to know what vendors is going to be there besides Ubisoft. Ubisoft is always confirmed they there. I just want to know who else is going to be there. All right, Nintendo's going to Pack East, but they're not going. I don't know what's going on here, but it is what it is. Um, Splatoon Meaty version 3 update coming today. Today's 27th. It's coming out today. Adding support for Inktopolis DLC. Players who have purchased Splatoon 3 expansion pass, Inktopolis, and side order DLC can now travel between Inktopolis and Splitville using the train station and the square. All right, blah, blah, blah. On March the 1st, 2023, data related to Fresh Season 2023 will be added to the game. This include a new catalog, including new gear, titles, splash tags, decorations, stickers, and emotes. A new game brand Z plus F, about 126 new items added to the store, product lineup, and a bunch of other stuff. I'm not gonna read all this stuff here. But just let you know, hey, today, if you get Splatoon, you get the expansion pass, you probably should download it. Mario vs. Rabbids Sparks of Hope DLC coming in March. Let's see if they got a date. It says Mario vs. Rabbids Sparks of Hope will be coming to the Nintendo Switch on March the 2nd. So, because the DLC is coming March the 2nd. That should be this week. Yeah. I think that's what today is, tomorrow 28th. No, 29th this year. So yeah, I think by Friday. So by Friday you should be, if you bought the game, you will have DLC coming. Let's see. Moon Studio says that the next game is a make or break moment for the studio. That's I wonder how much or how many copies did Ori sell, because they were phenomenal games. So I really, really hope, I'm definitely going to support this game when it drops. I hope it comes out simultaneously with the Xbox. I hope the Xbox don't wait. I know that they had, of course, they have what you call it's probably gonna release on Game Pass, but I hope it comes out on the Switch as well, day and date, so I can support it. Because I think they tend to lose out on money when they don't have a game release on the Switch because the Switch is a whole different ecosystem and people would support it and want games on the go. Microsoft president says Call of Duty will work as you would expect on Nintendo Switch. What is that? What does that mean? As you expect? Cause we expect it to be not very good, but if it's coming out day and date, that's a good question. Let me ask you this question: Do we get Call of Duty this year for the Switch? You think so? Do you think we get Madden this year? I don't think we get Madden this year. I don't think we get Madden until we get a new system. I don't think we get Call of Duty until we get a new system. But you know what? To me, it's like, why wouldn't you put a a Call of Duty that had at least 60 frames per second on a system that has 120 million people out there? It would sell. He said, I would expect it to be 30 frames. He said, I would expect it to play 30 frames with a lot of Vaseline. Yeah, listen, that's been the mood, the motto rather. Okay, I didn't see this point. Said E3 is sounding more sus than a basketball bat at this point. Yeah, I listen. You listen. You absolutely right. I agree. I can't even sugarcoat that one. They do. It's starting to sound sus, but I'm still hoping out. I want to wait to see what who gonna be there. What other games have they made other than just Ori? I don't know for sure. That's the top of my head. I just know Ori's were their big coming out party, and I'm waiting. Their next title they stated it's their Breath of the Wild for the company. So I'm expecting that bad boy to be pretty good. All right, Neil Prime says the company that made the Ori game will probably release their next game on both Xbox and Steam, so you'll be able to play on your Steam Deck. Okay, but see that becomes the question. It's like if it's coming on Xbox and Steam, I can still play it for free on Game Pass. But I still want that portable experience. But do I buy it on Steam Deck too? Why aren't you on the Switch? You should be on the Switch day one. GT said, I think you get COD game this. Yes. You okay? So you think we get a COD game this year? I think it's in their best interest. I think it's in Activision's best interest to release COD this year on the Switch. And it would also help their. I think it would help their case. Call of Duty. I'm so happy that it's coming to the Switch. Listen, this is the gift and the curse. Like I will be. Yes, I'm happy it's coming, but if it's like super slow, if it's 30 frames per second, then I'm not excited. You know what? To me, like COD, to me, it's gotta run 60 frames per second. If Metroid can run 60 frames per second, then darn it, they need to figure it out. He said, and Switch. I don't understand what you're saying. GT says, I'll be amazed that COD would be on the Switch, but can't be played on the Steam Deck without the anti-cheat banning you. Yeah. I was like, you know what? Yeah, you can really only play like the campaign on the Steam Deck. But yeah, I listen. I'm telling you, if it plays well, I'm all for it. It's gotta just play well. You'll get COD that release on the Vita. Yeah, COD that released on the Vita was trash. But Killzone was that deal. Killzone was good on the Vita. It played well. The online was good. Man, Killzone was the truth on the Vita. If not, probably COD game exclusive to the Switch. Yeah, I can see that. Now, yeah, if they did that and the online was exclusive to the Switch, they might have something. But man, to me, it's like they gotta aim for 60 frames per second. I can deal with the graphic. I can deal with 360 graphics as long as it was smooth. It needs to be smooth. That game needs to run at 60 frames. That's the main reason why Nintendo needs better hardware now. Yeah, to me, they're leaving a lot of money on the table. Man, could you imagine a new Switch this year and COD drops this year on that Switch? Come on, man. Hey, I'm just repeating it. I said it earlier. Don't forget, Nintendo has a direct March 9th at 5 p.m. It's the final direct for the movie. They clearly says no new game announcements. Does not mean hardware couldn't be announced. I think we're going to get, because it's March 9th. The next day is Super Mario Day, which is March 10th. I can foresee them dropping that rumored red Switch for the anniversary. I can see that happening. Not buying it because I have a red Switch already. That don't not get played. Just sit over there and collect dust. Let's see. Matter of fact, speaking of that, here it's a Nintendo Switch bundle feature Mario movie bonus supposedly launching soon. Yes, once again, this article says March 10th. I'm with that. I think, to me, that's smart. I don't know how many you sell. I don't think this sells like gangbusters. I do not think this sells like gangbusters. But you'll get a niche people that's collectors that will pick this one up. Oh, this is a good question. For those, is anybody in the chat that was able to find them a copy of Metroid Prime in this? Like, I found one in the store. It wasn't no problem for me. That was in the case. I bought it digitally, and I bought me a copy that I can have sealed. But I was wondering, did anybody else find them a copy, was having issues finding them a copy? Yeah, the movie is dope. I'm going to the movie day one. Is anybody else going to the movie day one? I'm there day one. It's only a couple movies I'm there day one for. This one here, and definitely Transformers. I'm there day one. If it's on a Thursday, I'm there. I am there. You know what I want for Christmas? I want that Optimus Prime that you say, Optimus transform. I want that bad. But I know my wife won't buy it for me. I'm gonna have to work really hard and get it. Steve, where did you pre-order yours from? Steve says Metro Prime Remastered sold out at my local stores, but I pre-ordered it, so I got one. Yeah, because I pre-ordered mine on Amazon. They pushed it back. They was like, matter of fact, I need to cancel that. Oh, you know what? Maybe I need to keep it. I probably should keep it and give it away. I got to think about that. That'd be a nice little giveaway. GT said, I can't deal with 60 frames per second and Vaseline in a Switch shooter, which you have to tell in a few milliseconds whether or not the blood on the scene is a teammates or not. I don't mean it wouldn't be that bad. I'm trying to think Shadow of Colossus was a Vaseline mess. The first Doom was it was playable, but it was a Vaseline mess too. But the second, Doom Eternal, was like, okay, that was pretty good. I think by now, I think the game can look fairly decent. It's one of the things, you gotta wait and see. It's no guarantee that you look against I'll buy it. It's like, that is, to me, that is a game I gotta see the previews. I gotta see the reviews before I decide to put my money down. It says Steven said Nintendo about to have a Mario Day Switch bundle. Yeah, it's coming. GZ says absolutely not. You ain't catching me in a theater full of kids with no kid myself, looking like I should be on some type of list. Yeah, you might want to wait. At least I can take my kids with me. Looking like, no, I should be on some list. Man, you funny, boy, I tell you. Okay, GameStop. Yeah, I picked mine up from GameStop. But I didn't pre-order from GameStop. I said, well, if I go the Amazon route, I would be able to, pre-order and had that bad boy, delivered to me early. But they pushed my date back. I said, man, I was pissed. But I was lucky to find it. I found it at GameStop like a day or two later. It didn't matter. I bought the digital version. Steve M says some of the Switch games do have my vision looking like I need to see Gorilla Tactics Eye Doctor. Witcher 3 and Doom can be blurry. Yeah, Witcher 3 can be. Witcher 3 is one of them games that can be blurry. Yeah, but it was. You know what though? The Witcher 3 was like to be on the Switch is still pretty good. It's one of them things like you know what? It needs better hardware. Like The Witcher 3 is like a really good game, man. I just hate that it wasn't like the best on the Switch. All right, let's see. Universal Esports officially partners with Nintendo for a middle school esports event. I think this is smart by Nintendo. It's still targeting and honing on your demographics, and you not have to worry about those issues of these perverted gamers over here trying to seduce these kids. And I was like, I don't know what you see in a kid. I don't know what some of these YouTubers that was getting in trouble, man, for messing with these kids. I don't know what they were thinking. Like, these kids, man. If you're looking for love, man, you need to get on a dating site and find somebody or something. But I think that's a very, very good connection for Nintendo. I think it hones in right with their content. I love the titles of these stories. Accurate Pokemon leaker claims new Switch model coming this year. But he didn't say. Did he say this year though? All right, because so if this leak is to be believed, a new Switch model will release alongside winter 2023. But winter could be next year as well. That's why I'm like, yeah. And winter doesn't start until September 21st. Launch that bad boy on Christmas Eve and let's ride out. I bet you. I wonder like if it's like if the rumor is true. I bet you Nintendo is mad as all get up. I bet you they're going head hunting. They need to find out who is this mother effer leaking our secrets. I'm telling you. So those of you who like Evo, their fighting roster has been announced, and it's no Smash Brothers, but Street Fighter. I think that's look like Street Fighter 6. Guilty Gear, never played it. Melty Blood, never played it. King of Fighters, Mortal Kombat 11. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Man, another good game, man. I wish would come to the Switch. It was on a Vita. To me, that's a game that should be on the Switch. I digress. Tekken 7 and Dragon Ball Z Fighters. Dragon Ball Z Fighters plays really well on the Switch. The issue I have with it and why I have not went back to it, the load times are terrible. Loading in between matches, man, it's like forever. It's like, yeah, by the time you play, you get done, you're like, oh man, I'm tired of this. But it runs phenomenal on the Switch. But the load times are slow. So those of you looking forward to eSport EVO, that's the rosters. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I'm not even going to talk about the Pokemon Direct because it was terrible. That's all you need to know. Absolutely terrible. Complete hot garbage. It gets it would to me it would get an F. Tears of the Kingdom site says full version of the game required to use DLC. I hate that, man. I don't. It's like, you know what? I like supporting games. Don't get me wrong, but when this games I really like, I like the fact that the whole thing is on the cartridge. I don't want you to update it and let you. I wish they figured out a way to. If they're gonna update it, that update saves to the cartridge, so it continues to improve the cartridge. It's some form of memory um attached to the cartridge, so this way, if you got DLC or something like that, it's locked in and it becomes a part of the system, and you don't got to worry about it. But no, who am I? Kenny from the A, what's going on, my guy? GT says, you could see my eye doctor, but you'll get yourself hyped up for the surgery and get a call 5 hours before. The operation said it's been pushed back a week. Yeah. Kenny from the A in the building. What's going on, Kenny? Let me get you on the board, man. You lucky, man. Listen, it's a low count this week. Let me get you on there real quick. All right, Kenny from the A on the board. Yep, Kenny. We really winding down. But he says, what's up? Switch to coming holiday season. Let's go. You know what, man? Listen, after really digging into it, I think we're gonna be disappointed. I think it's more than likely if it's going to be released, it might get announced. But to me, that's stupid. I don't think you announce it. If you're gonna announce it, you should release it this year. It shouldn't be announced and then released next year. If they announce it this year, they should release it this year. If they announce it late this year, that's stupid. You're just cannibalizing your sales of the original Switch for Christmas. So to me, it's like it's by far better. If you're gonna release this thing this year, Christmas holiday. Let's go and make this Christmas holiday worth going out and spending some money. I know right now, if that thing releases this year for Christmas, I can tell you right now, all my kids are gonna say this. Even my oldest son, hey dad, I just need that Switch. That's how they did the first Switch. The first Switch was coming out in March, and at Christmas they was like, hey, you don't gotta give me too much. I'm good. Just make sure I get a Switch. Oh my goodness. So I don't know, Kenny, man. I don't know, man. All I can tell you is that definitely before fall of next year. I mean before the summer starts of next year, we'll have a new Switch. I think we can all kind of settle on that. But the question is now, was still a mystery. Is it this year or is it next year? I'm really hoping this year. I really would like to see that bad boy come out and just load my next year up with games that I know I'm going to want to spend my money on. They do that, it's fine. Next year, all they need to me, they don't need a lot of titles if it launches this year. They just need maybe one or two that's going to sell the system. And then you add other stuff like, hey, maybe it launches with a new Mario this year and to say a F-Zero remake. That's all they need. Later in the year, May, second half of the year, you drop Mario Kart, and then it's off to the races. Next week, This Week in Gaming is sponsored by the Carter. Oh man, Crank Link 13. I don't know what MM's OT is. I hope you have spam in the chat. CFG says Kenny from the A. Yes, sir. Grid Attack said Marvel versus Capcom 3 made me feel like an old man. There were colors on my screen, and then I was defeated. It drove me drinking. Yeah, man, listen. He said Pokemon Sleep, let's go. I can't, man, listen. Pokemon Sleep, that whole concept, to me, you have to be a Pokemon super fan. If you're a Pokemon super fan, then you probably ate that up. But to me, it's like, man, that would be so good for a game. I like the sleep aspect, but I don't know if I want to be in the bed with Pikachu singing to me next to my wife. I just don't, I'm 58. I didn't see I had to pass on Pokemon Sleep. And it probably could be dope. I'll pass. Steve M says, I got the Japanese version of Breath of the Wild that has the DLC on the cart. God almighty. Dang. So Ross said, can we get a Fortnite tourney going? Man, I haven't played Fortnite. I don't know how long. I watch my son play it all the time. He still gets in there on it every now and then. GT says, so when Nintendo shuts down the Switch servers a few years from now, and you ain't going to be able to play the whole Zelda game if your Switch breaks. Yeah, that's why I own multiple Switches. I know, right? Listen, it's funny, but you are right, and I can't. It's nowhere around it. You are absolutely correct. What what do you do? Like, what do you do? It's like you just got to just deal with it. You're gonna have a half version of a game. It's the reason why I like Steam, man. They just do it right. I just wish Nintendo would just accept that responsibility. If I bought this game, I own that game, and that's it. And for the rest of my life, as long as I support your systems, you know what? That's what it is. But Nintendo want to mark. You know what? They want to just milk you to death. Sonic Knuckle says doubtful, but could Tears of the Kingdom link to Breath of the Wild, even if for a small perk? I think so. I don't think they would do it, but they probably should be a great marketing technique to keep you to continue to keep both relevant. Say you come join us on the high seas. Yeah, man. I don't think this year, but I think next year I probably will own myself a gaming PC. I think that's coming. But what I want to do first this year, I got to redo this area here. I'm gonna redo my studio. I'm gonna start broadcasting from my living room until I get this down here together. When I get this down here together, it's gonna be on and popping. All right, good people. Let's see. I think news wise, I'm gonna look at PlayStation real quick. Oh, there we go. Let's see what PlayStation is talking about. It's Call of Duty Call of the Mountain PlayStation VR review, a mountain too high. I don't want the score. Woo! They gave it a 6.75. See, I mean, this is my this is my issue with PlayStation VR. It's just not enough. They don't have too many games like I just gotta play. I think some of the games could be interesting. I like the fact that if I hook it up to my PlayStation, that I can play my PlayStation games through my goggles. I like that. I think that'll be interesting. Is that worth $550? It is not. It is not. So there's not a game yet. If they'd have had Half-Life Alyx at launch, I might have considered it. I mean, can they get some games that I could play? They haven't shown me nothing. I was like, man, I gotta play this. Now, let me see if I can find this. You know, they are advertising the new Meta headset, and it looked real good. They showed that Meta headset. She was DJing with it. I mean, I was like, oh my goodness. Let me see let's see, Meta headset. Let's see what comes up. Oh man, so we talking about Meta, but here's Apple. Apple mixed reality headset prototype features in-air typing. That's crazy. Well, you know, you want that. You want to be like boop 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 bloop 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 bloop. And to me, you want that. I want that kind of. That's the experience I want. But I want it to be wireless. I want everything to be in the unit. I don't want to have to tag and be connected to my PlayStation. I don't want that. To me, that's what Sony should have figured out. How do we figure it out? We see this. I talked about Meta. Meta in talk to sell Quest 2 virtual reality headset in China after failing to bring Facebook to the country. I don't think that's not going to happen either. That's not going to happen either. Gaming Dad are going to be joining us on the podcast. Gaming Dog, Gaming Dad going to join the podcast soon. You heard it here first. Coming live and direct from the living room, sponsored by Manscaped. PSVR 2, $550 for a huge 4K screen to play your PS5 games and VR games. Listen. Okay. The first half of your statement is what intrigues me the most, is to have that large 4K screen in front of you to play my PlayStation games. However, I got a TV that big already. I don't know if I really want to, dig into it like that. Like they just haven't shown. I haven't seen enough games to warrant that particular price tag and really go out and get it. Now, just say for instance, this Christmas, or closer to Christmas, um, they released some games that might be worth playing. Like Resident Evil to me is worth playing, and that to me with this, it's still not. It still doesn't justify the $550 price tag. I'm thinking about it only because I can play it. If I okay, this is the key. If some modder out there was to figure out a way to mod it where I can play my Steam games on my headset, now you got a game changer. Now you go out and you pick up one right now because it would give me some more options. If I can play my Steam collection on my headset, I'm all for it. Ralph says, "What's up with the metaverse?" Oh, you know what? Well, I don't know too much about the actual metaverse, but I know they are preparing a new premium headset for Facebook, and so and they're starting to they're starting to advertise and have commercials for it already. How much that is, I don't know. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I can find it. Right. Listen. Okay. This article explains my dilemma. It says Sony PlayStation VR 2 would be my favorite headset if it worked with PC. If they figure out a way to allow that thing to work, they would sell more units. But PlayStation, they stupid. They so worried about them affecting their brand. Like, man, listen, you got this unit that would sell like hotcakes if it worked with PC. If it worked, if I could plug this thing into my Steam Deck, oh, psh. I hope somebody figure that out so I can be like, all right, now it's worth it. But I was trying to find Facebook's headset because Sony. I mean, Apple was making one too, but let's see. I don't know. Yeah, so they don't have anything really, any article about the headset right now, but the commercials are out there for sure. About the PlayStation. All right, so you got the Outer Worlds has been announced for PS5 and Xbox Series X. Oh, this Outer Worlds 2. All right, so it says the board is pleased to announce that the Outer Worlds Space Choice Edition is releasing on March the 7th, 2023. That's next week. The upgraded version includes both DLC and increased level cap to 99 and more. Okay, all right. So those of you who this ran pretty good on the Switch as well, but once again, it's still, it's still like that tier behind. All right, so not nothing really big here on the PlayStation front. Let's look at Xbox before we get off. Xbox. Yeah, I gotta get when I get off the stream tonight. I gotta go cut my kids' hair. I told them they gotta stay up, so they all extra happy because they gotta stay up. But as soon as I get off, they're gonna be cutting their hair so they can get themselves ready for school tomorrow. No, nothing really here either. No, that's it. All right, good people. Listen, that's enough of that. Let's see. Oh, what's up, Ruben? Ruben finally made it to the chat. Hello, everybody. Let me get Ruben on the board real quick. Got you real quick, Ruben. You on the board? With the 17 people. And GT says, man, just build you a PC and buy the Vive. You'll be fine with playing regular old PC games in VR. You know what? Yeah, I forgot about the Vive. I wonder how the Vive is just about as expensive as the PlayStation. I might do. I'm gonna look into that. There's no actual modders on consoles. I'm telling you, listen, somebody gonna figure it out. Hours 2, another game that the PS5 is getting and Switch ain't. Maybe Nintendo fans can get their $500 Pro and hope the games, one day comes to Switch. God, nobody. Gotta love Guerrilla Tactics. All right, good people. Listen, hey, you know what? You know how we do. It is that time of the evening. If you haven't got on the board yet and you're still watching, this is your opportunity to send it in a comment before I get. I'm about to cut my whole thing off. This is your opportunity to get on the board. Let me get my sound effects up and running. So if your name get picked first, you get that sad trombone. Or you could get the, cause you're out of here. Or you could get the nice songs of the. But you know I do. We love our boy Peter Griffin as he lights it on fire and let you know that you are.
You are out of here.
All right, listen, that was the last go around. Without any further ado, let's get it on, good people. The time is now 9:56. Who is our first loser tonight? And it will be last week's winner, not so Guerrilla Tactics, is off the board.
You lose.
He is out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming through. But don't worry, the original Guerrilla Tactics on the board, but he still can't win. All right, ladies and gentlemen, who's up next to catch the flex? This is with 9 people watching us. It looks like it's going to be my guy, FS Alpha, man. Get off the board, buddy. Thanks for coming through, though, man. Tell your mama say hello, man. Happy New Year, all the good stuff. GT says, what am I supposed to do? I can't win. Menace ain't here. I have no one to root against. Well, root for somebody. Who's up next to catch the flex? We're going to root for Neo Prime. Steve M. It's like you're going to be our next victim tonight. Steve M's on the board, ladies and gentlemen. Dang, Steve M, you've been going down the flames this year. Hey, Geeky. Wheel time. Who's up next to catch the flex and will be our next one off the board today. And it will be, back to back. Guerrilla Tactics is officially off the board, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you for coming through, Guerrilla Tactics, and all your negative Nintendo comments. Who's up next to catch the flex and will be the next one off the board tonight? And that will be SOC, my guy.
You lose.
And our moderator who only steps in for a hot second and beats it. I had to give me another moderator. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Who's up next to catch the flex? Who is on the wheel of steel? He is for real. And it is CMG. Please give him his exit card. Please exit left, CMG. CMG's off the board, ladies and gentlemen. Go through a couple of little comments real quick. We got Geeky with Wheel Time, and GT said, root for someone. Nah, I'm pretty. I'm petty, rather. Who's up next to catch the flex? You know what? Candy kind of jumped off the board, too. This is what Candy is. It would be my girl, a Kiki chick. Is out of here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're down to 10 for the win. If I win tonight, I'm giving it to my friend Ben. My friend Ben, who's I know I gotta get somebody on the board, don't I? No, I don't. Silent Knuckle Tails, you are out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give it to Geeky, and then Geeky, you can give it to Ben. If I win tonight, that's where my winnings are going. Nintendo Prime says Nintendo Gamer here with a PS5 for those games I can't play on the Switch, like the Outer Worlds 2. That's right. Listen, that's why you gotta own the variety. I prefer to have a lot of stuff on my Switch because of the portability of the system. But those games I can't play, like Resident Evil 4, I'm playing it on my PS5. We're down to 9 people, ladies and gentlemen, on the wheel. 9 people left. Who is up next to catch the flex and will be left off the board? And who would it be? Who would it be? It looks like I'm going to be my frat brother, Ralph. Man, you are out of here. Dang, well, Geeky ain't winning. I've been cursed by GD. What? Mentioning her like that. What? Don't believe it. Don't believe the hype. Yeah, don't believe the hype. But you know who next to catch that flex? It's just like candy. Ow. Shake it. All right, we're down to 7, the number of completion. And who's up next to catch that flex? And it will be, it's Kenny from the A. Get out of here. Get out of here, my brother. For another one down there, our final 6, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to keep it rolling and see who's up next to catch that L Boogie. And it's going to be Dave Williams.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You get
nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll keep it rolling and scrolling. Who's up next? Who will be our next loser of the day? And it's getting close. It's getting close. But GD, I'm the loser.
You lose.
I am off the board, ladies and gentlemen. The gaming dad is off, and we're down to our final 4. And ladies and gentlemen, Supersonic MJ, Ruben came in late, but he's on the final 4. Neo Prime 33 and Quake 311. It's the final 4, ladies and gentlemen. Without a shadow of a doubt, who's up next to catch the flex? Hit that button. Let's get it rolling and scrolling. This is our first winner tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Give it for our first winner tonight, and our winner will be Ruben. Is our winner tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Ruben, but
Fight.
Better luck next time. Slug heads.
I'm out of there. Yeah, CMG, man, you was out of there, man. Sorry, man. Sorry. Geeky with the last. How many consoles do you have, including duplicates? God almighty, that's a... Okay, so I guess I still got my Wii U. Got PS5, PS3, Xbox Series X. I got a Switch. I got a Switch Red. Switch Lite. So that's, I got a analog pocket. I got about 11 consoles that's situated around these parts. I know, man. What am I doing? All right, let's do on the final 3. Who's up next to fill the void? And it will be Supersonic MJ.
Better luck next time. Slug heads.
Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, man, thank y'all for coming through, man. Having a wonderful night, man. But it only can be one winner tonight. And listen, it couldn't be called better. Neo Prime, Nintendo Dash in the building, in the winner's circle for the first time, I believe. Quake 311, a returning winner, but it can only be one. Nick Cannon, drum roll, please. Come on, Nick, get it together. And our winner tonight will be Nintendo Dads come through with the win. Quake 311 is out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, kids, please give it up for my boy, Nintendo Dad himself. Neo Prime 33 gets the dub tonight with the free $10 eShop card. Neo, thanks for shopping in, man. Coming and get the W. Don't forget, man, just send me a note on Twitter. Just send me a message to say, "Give me Dad, where about my knee?" And I'll get you your card to you sometime between today and tomorrow. Hopefully tonight, because I'll be up late as I cut my kids' hair, and I'll send that off to you. So don't forget, man, just send it to me on Twitter, and I'll respond back and get it off to you. Ladies and gentlemen, man, what a wonderful Grid attack this boy. I tell you, he's so funny. Kiki, he said Nintendo Prime ain't winning either. God almighty. Congrats from Geeky. Nintendo Prime. Wow. Congrats on surviving the curse. Man, we don't give out curses around here. Nothing but love. Nintendo Prime said, yeah, thank you so much. Yes, sir, man. Oh, man, welcome. Anytime. Support my fellow brother from the great state of Michigan. Great. Thank you, Geeky. Thank you, Geeky. Ladies and gentlemen, man, listen, I will see you guys next Monday, same time, same bat station. Probably between that 7 and 8 mark. Just be on the lookout. It'll pop up on your screen. If you don't have notifications on, please go ahead, take the opportunity, go back and just cut those notifications on so you can get notified when my videos drop. This is your boy, Gaming Dad. Let me pray, man, for y'all success. We're going to continue to pray for Gorilla Tactics surgery. You know what I'm saying? It was a good thing that he kind of pushed it back because God had to make sure those doctors was right mentally so they can do a good job on them eyeballs. And so you can have great vision. You can continue to watch our streams and continue to be productive. So we pray that in Jesus' name. I pray that you guys have a wonderful week, that you guys have great relationships with your children and with your significant others and your wives. I pray that y'all relationship becomes stronger this week. But ultimately, I pray that God uses you this week to do something wonderful for somebody else besides yourself. This is your boy, Gaming Dad. Thank y'all. Happy Monday. See y'all next week. As I end my show, like in every week, in the mortal voice of Don Cornelius. If I can get myself, oh, there we go. Peace, love, and soul.